Hey everyone, what's up? So, it's just a short little quick video, I hope, or maybe we'll just sit here and ramble. But I'm just telling you guys to really watch yourselves. We got Halloween coming up, and Halloween, a lot of people, they think it's all good and fun and it's harmless. Last year, there were some pretty crazy things that were going on during Halloween. People were getting killed, things like that. Was it Offset or whoever, the rapper, he ended up getting killed, but there was all kinds of crazy stuff going on last year. And again, majority of people think it's just all fun and games and it's totally harmless and it's good for your children and things like that. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, these days are growing more evil and the enemy's getting more desperate. He's breaking up families, he's causing people to turn on one another. You know, there's a lot of us who feel burned when this kind of stuff happens to us and things like that. It leaves a lot of us in shock, in confusion, like why did this have to happen to me and things like that. I went through something similar like this as well last year, and it just seemed like it came out of nowhere and I was being blitzed from all sides. So if some of you right now are kind of going through that type of situation, again, the Bible will straight out tell you don't consider this stuff strange. You know, me, I was so discombobulated during this whole ordeal. It just, one minute, you know, this has happened to me, then the next, I get attacked over here, and then I get COVID. This stuff was happening in succession, you know, one thing after the next, literally, and it was just left me in total, like, devastation, things like that. I got to the point where I had to tell my job, like, hey, you know, I understand that there's a change in me and I'm not on drugs, I'm not drinking, I'm willing to take drug tests. You know, I know this is not me, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because they could tell the difference, they knew something was off. And I'm not one of those types that goes and drinks and starts doing drugs and that type of stuff, especially when I get tested all the time for my job. But it's just something you can't explain to anyone either. You know, when you try to explain it, it's like you're by yourself and on your own. I'm telling you, I've been through that situation too, and I'm still kind of going through it. You know, it just seems to never end. But Halloween, if you're celebrating it this year, guys, I'm telling you, it'd probably be best if you just stay home. Don't expose your kids to this stuff. I know a lot of people don't believe in spiritual. I did not as well. I thought this stuff was all phooey and, you know, whatever else. But as I was seeking answers, like I said, it did lead me to the Bible. And then when I look back, you know, in my earlier life, and I seen these types of situations that happened to me, after reading the Bible, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see how this lines up perfectly. And this was that, and this was this, you know. I know it's very hard, guys, I do. And we're also approaching the holidays as well, and I always try to come out with these videos. This is a time when suicide and things like that become more prevalent. Especially in males ages 18 to like 34, which have been in the rise these past years significantly. You know, this is just the enemy working on you. He wants you to quit. He wants you to give up. Yeah, he wants you to call it quits. He wants you to go back to maybe old habits, old lifestyles, go back to old people. You know, it's kind of like the Hebrews when they were freed out of Egypt, guys. A lot of them, when they were told to go in the wilderness, even after all these signs and wonders and how the Lord our God delivered them out of that, you know, they complained all the time, but they wanted to go back, guys. And a lot of us will be in that situation, and I've been through that situation myself. It was very hard for me to give up what I had, and I always wanted to go back because it seemed like, well, at least I know what I got to deal with in this current situation, or being with this person, as opposed to having to face the unknown and putting your faith and trust in the Lord. And that's always the hard part, guys. It's very difficult. It's very hard. And You know, it'll be something where you're struggling with money. Like I said, you're getting attacked on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? And when I started reading the Bible, I read it about 2.5 times last year. You know what I'm saying? And then I started reading it over and over again. And this year as well, just been continuing to read it over and over again. I learn new stuff every day. And you get more in depth with things, especially when you start researching it. You look up the history. You look up the Hebrew language of it. What does this mean? You know, it's just crazy. It really is. And like I said, I know a lot of you, you're like, you know, I don't believe in this stuff. I don't believe in spiritual or whatnot. I was the same way, guys. I was a logical man. I was very confident in my abilities. I always performed well. At my job, I just meddled again. You know what I'm saying? Everything I did, I was pretty good at. Whether it was sports or whatever else, whether it was school, I didn't even have to try hard. So, you know, I was a very confident person until all of a sudden, basically, calamity came against me. But I'm trying to tell you guys, if you find yourselves in these types of situations, you turn to the Lord, pray to Him. I say this all the time, even if you feel dumb, just be honest with Him. Tell Him, I don't believe you, you know. Can you please, Lord, just build my faith? Can you build my trust in you? Just simply ask Him, talk to Him. You understand? Get into that word. That's very important. You know, some of this stuff, again, I've been there, you know. And I'm telling you, evil is kind of more prevalent today, guys. They do all this stuff in plain sight, and no one holds them accountable to it anymore. It's to the point where there's crazy things going on. Crazy things. We got people here, they're like sympathetic towards Hamas over Israel. I was watching some of the GoPro footage from the actual Hamas terrorists and other videos that Israel released. And again, typically I'll watch this stuff with a grain of salt because I know the news is always just pushing propaganda. It's always trying to get you to believe in the way that it wants you to believe. You are like, this is a boxing channel. A lot of you know this. When you watch boxing, when you listen to the announcers, you know, you can kind of see what type of fighter they're going for. You see the house fighter, they'll typically tell you that he's doing so good, and they'll barely give the other guy that they don't want to promote any kind of credit whatsoever. But I watched this footage, guys, and just seeing people get shot in their heads, just looking at the burned bodies and things like that. You know, even when they tried to claim it was Israel that shot that hospital down, and then Israel had to basically defend itself, you understand, and you kind of see how UK and everybody's following this trend. You know, let's go for Hamas and the Palestinians. Now listen, there are some good Palestinians. I'm not trying to say that these people need to be eradicated. That's not the case at all. There's a lot of Christian Palestinians, especially in Iran, guys. Those people, I mean, I sit here and I complain about whatever I'm dealing with. There's people being killed because of their faith over there. A lot of them, again, are claiming that they're seeing Jesus Christ and they're turning towards Jesus Christ. So obviously there must be something going on over there. But even in China, people are getting thrown in jail, killed, just because of their faith in Jesus Christ. Do you understand? And the Bible tells us that the world is going to be against Israel. And if you ever paid attention to history, you know, that always seemed to be the case. But you just got to kind of be aware and alert of what's going on, what people are trying to get you to believe in and things like that. Before I just say blindly support Israel, in their population, they have about almost a 2% Christian base that actually believes in Jesus Christ. Now, those type of statistics, of course, I don't think they're all the way accurate. I've met a lot of Jewish people that actually believe in Jesus, and people that acknowledge books such as Isaiah. I mean, it's clear as day that you can't deny Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's the same in the Palestinians as well. Places like Iran and things like that. There's a low percentage of Christians. The Bible always tells us there's a remnant, you know, and the majority, just like in the days of Noah or whenever time, they were always, you know, just a remnant. And it's no different today, I don't think, guys. It's no different today. But another thing you need to understand as well, in June, I'm just going to use this as an example. I've been telling you guys that I think this country is more than compromised. There is a foreign presence that's kind of leading and directing this country, and it's leading our leadership. And let's just say that this leadership's in the White House, okay? But even in June, they caught 6 Iranian spies, guys. You understand? And they had a spy ring inside the White House, guys. And when I sit here and I tell you that we are definitely compromised, that's just using that example. I know there's other examples. I know China, we've sold them farmland and things like that. But we've talked about this and we got into it before. We are compromised as a nation, but even this is nothing new that has not been seen in the world before. When you look at places like China and you look at their military ads, you understand, and then you look at Russia and you look at their military ads, you understand, it's nothing compared to the stuff that our country is pushing out. The Emma ad, which is quite pathetic, and they wonder why there's low retention and things like that, and no one wants to really join, you understand? This country has its whole priorities backwards, guys, and it pushes all day ideas that are backwards. It basically wants you to believe in an inverted reality, which is all it's doing. And you got to ask yourself why. And I'm telling you, the people that are in leadership right now, they're basically puppets. You could literally say Manchurian candidates. Now you saw people, and listen, I didn't even vote for Trump, guys. I didn't vote for either or, so I don't want to make this too political. But you see, this is also an example of how the enemy works. The enemy's guilty of doing something, but he's always going to blame the person and try to project what it's doing onto someone else. And they said that Trump was a Manchurian candidate. And like I said, we've seen how China was buying up United States debt and things like that. If you guys do your research, guys, we are a whore, we are a harlot, and we are selling ourselves to other countries. That's just the bottom line, whether you want to believe it or not. I don't do this stuff out of emotion, guys. I really don't. I do my research before I come out with these ideas or these points of view. It's just like when we do our boxing. And I'm telling you, we are whores. We are whoring ourselves out. And our leadership is compromising this entire country, guys. They are intentionally doing this stuff to us. Israel saw the same thing when they started introducing strange people into their country. I'm not saying it's because of immigrants, but they allowed a foreigner to basically infiltrate their whole infrastructure. We'll tell you about Ahab and Jezebel. She started incorporating Baal worship, but that was her just bringing it out in plain sight. And they persecuted Christians. She ordered that all the prophets of the Lord be slaughtered. And these are the same ideas that you're seeing today, people. Child sacrifice, aka infanticide, was normalized, guys. You now see that things such as pagan religions, witches, Wiccans, stuff that's associated with that, crystals, you understand? An inverted caste system where we're now propping up females, you understand? And I'm not talking about feminism and all that crap. The enemy has always known that if you get the woman, you basically destroy the family, you have the children, and you have the men. You understand? That's just the collateral damage of it. And none of this stuff is new, guys. It's always been the case for human civilization. What you think is new and radical has always been the case, guys. And I'm just telling you guys, a lot of you, I saw this guy from Maryland, he shot one of his family court judges that ruled in favor of the mother. You know what I'm saying? And they're making that crazy. They're saying, oh, this proves that the judge was right. But any of you that been through family court, and I've talked to probably about 30 other men that have gone through the same process I went through. You know it's a broken, unjust system. It's not fair whatsoever. They don't care about facts. They don't care about evidence. They just, and CNN and places like that, CNN wrote a puff piece that 80% of family court cases in the United States are awarded to women. And they say that unlike research that claims that children usually suffer more in a single mother's household than they do in single fathers, and they also tell you that children are more prone to becoming criminals, male and female, but especially in males, you know, they're more prone to be more violent towards females as well when they are raised in a single mother household. When you look at occultism, you understand, you're gonna see, I forgot that dude's name, he was bald-headed. Man, I forgot that clown's name, man. He's on one of the Beatles covers. He's called like the father of occultism or whatever else when he's not. He went to Egypt, and basically we all know that Egypt and those type of places are associated with this, and it's even documented in the Bible. I can't believe or remember his name right now. It's so crazy. But he's quoted as saying that the public enemy number one is the family dynamic. Go look it up. Do you understand? And you're seeing that our country is basically attacking the family dynamic, the family unit. And they're perverting it. They want it broken apart, guys. And there's a reason for that. And they do know that when children are in the care of women, that they're more easily indoctrinated. They're easier prey. They're easier targets, guys. You understand? But these signs, again, none of it's new, guys. We've kind of already covered this in other videos, but I'm just telling you guys to keep your eyes open and look out for yourselves, you know, and don't consider it strange if family members or whatever else, they just all of a sudden turn on you. It's pretty quite normal, especially today. People that you've known from day one, you understand, if they just turn on you. I'm trying to tell you, this is becoming more prevalent in this society. This is becoming more prevalent in the world. You know, even, you know, the Lord himself tells us that your enemies are going to be from your own household. And, you know, that is the truth, guys. And I'm telling you that by experience. And I've talked to other people, and we all kind of got hit around the same time. You know, I'm not trying to go all conspiracy theory. If we can sit here and promote Satan on television and incorporate him in our schools, am I really being a conspiracy theorist at this point? And when has this type of depravity and perversion ever assisted in a society? When you see these signs, typically that is followed by the end and destruction of that civilization or country or whatever else, guys. Nothing new under the sun. But this Halloween, again, when you're going out and you're honoring demons, which is all you're doing, you're glorifying the enemy, guys. And I'm telling you guys right now, it would not hurt to not basically be secular, not be of the world. You understand? We understand the world's concept. It caters a lot to the flesh and to the lust and to the senses and things like that. A lot of distractions. It's very hard to get off of this stuff, especially when you've been groomed to be a certain way your entire lives. But I really do believe right now that the Lord is calling out to a lot of people, and he's starting to waken them up, guys, and he's telling us to get our stuff together. You know, I will have to say, last year I was a big wreck. I couldn't even barely function at work and things like that. You know, but I would still pretty much perform well, like, in my profession. But again, you could see there was a big significant change in performance, and I had to really will myself to really function at all when it came to work and things like that. I was still getting recognized and things like that, but I know it's not to the level I was used to. But it would not hurt to put your faith and your trust in the Lord, guys, even if it's a little bit. You know, He's the person. It's hard to explain, but when you read books such as Isaiah, for example, he knows that there's no one that he can really turn to or rely on as far as men. He knows we all fall short. And you'll read where he's decided, well, I'll do this myself. I'll take, I'll do the wine press myself. I'll slay these people and things like that. But the Lord is your best weapon. He is your best tool. He is your best chance at anything. When our Lord Jesus talked to the rich man said, well, what can I do? And, Jesus told him to follow the commandments. He said, what are the commandments? The guy tells him the commandments. And then he's like, I do follow the commandments. So what else can I do? And then he told him, give all your money to the poor and then come follow me. And the dude turned around and walked away. And then Jesus has to explain to the apostles, Jesus Christ, Peter and all them, John, everybody else. And he tells them it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for, someone wealthy and rich to, get into heaven. But a lot of people, they're like, okay, I can see that. But he says, what's impossible for man is possible with God, guys. And I'm trying to tell you guys, this is the whole point. This is the whole, let's just call it a test that's going on right now. There's a lot of calamity. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of injustice in this world today, guys. Evil is now basically good and good is now evil. And a lot of people, they'll find themselves in a situation where they're like, hey, why don't I just do evil myself, and finally give into this stuff and just be like everyone else. But that's the whole part of it, guys. That is, separating the tares from the wheat, guys. There's a big pruning going on right now. And God is testing those that are written in his book of life, guys. And I'm trying to tell you, and I know it's impossible, especially when you're trying to rely on yourself and do it off your own will and understanding, your own self-determination. You're going to get swept up, guys. You're going to get swept up and you're going to get drowned. It's going to be like being in a riptide, guys. Maybe I'll tell you guys my riptide story in the future, when I feel more comfortable with this stuff. I know we've done a crazy 180 on this channel, guys. I know it. Trust me, I know it. And I get it, guys. I really do. No one likes to hear about this stuff. When you read, even Jesus Christ, even when you read about the prophets, they all, were persecuted and they were all basically killed, in pretty horrific ways. Isaiah being one of them, he was sawed in half by his own grandson. Just for an example. And I'm not saying I'm a prophet. I'm not saying I'm this man of God, guys. I'm just a guy, when I see 1 + 1 = 2, I can admit that 1 + 1 does indeed equal 2, guys. And I'm trying to tell you, 1 + 1 = 2, guys. There's too much evil going around here, guys. And I've been there, guys. I've been distraught and I've been through that type of shit, trauma and everything else. You understand? You can get through it. Don't let the enemy win against you, guys. Draw to the Lord, guys. Draw to him. Hearken yourselves into him, guys. And don't do things that glorify and honor the enemy, guys. You understand? If that's taking your kids to Halloween, I would not do it, guys. I would not. I'm telling you, this stuff is becoming more prevalent in today's society. Even at concerts such as Taylor Swift. I saw this, and the news even posted this on their stations. But there was like a wave that just knocked over like a bunch of people. And it was just in one section of the crowd. And you see that people, even at these concerts, man, they're saying like, I felt evil or something. Like I felt something there and I got out of there. And you're seeing where people are getting trampled and killed and things like that. I'm just trying to tell you guys, they're building bigger platforms for the enemy to pretty much manifest itself here. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff today, guys. And I don't think you should be celebrating Halloween. I would look at all the holidays that they truly want you to celebrate, and really do your research on those holidays, guys. This world is compromised, just like our government. The United States, you guys knew, it's not the same anymore, guys. It's really not. This thing is alien. This thing is literally something else. It does not carry the same identity. You could say that it's possessed. I think that's a word that we could use. And I'm telling you, there's crazy stuff going on right now, guys. But I'm telling you, none of this stuff even has a chance against our Lord. It's not even comparable. But the enemy, he works pretty hard, and he is busy. And again, he uses the most heinous ways possible. You know, the most cowardly ways, guys. It does not matter. Lowest forms, like arrow spins, for example, always punches fighters in their balls. The enemy does even worse than that type of stuff, guys. He does some very dirty tricks. But if you guys can withstand it, if you guys let the Lord carry you through it, I'm trying to tell you, you'll make it. And there won't be reasons for you to have to defeat yourself by allowing the enemy to do it, guys. The enemy wants plenty of people to be suicidal, traumatized, and all this stuff. Take it out on God, lose their faith, and everything else. At these times, you should maybe ask, why are you going through this? You know, especially if it just comes out of nowhere. Like, why is this happening to you? You must mean something to the Lord your God. You understand? I know this turned out being a long video, but I did want to send this out because, again, we're approaching holidays. This is a very depressing time. Again, for whatever reasons, you know, for those who believe in coincidence, it's especially hard for males. Males have higher suicide rate, obviously, you know, especially ages 18 through 34, but it's even going beyond that, you know. A lot more kids, higher teen suicide rate and things like that. It's very hard for people to find their identity and purpose in today's society. Even when it comes to dating, it's very toxic. You know, there's this hookup culture going on, so people aren't forming real relationships with each other. We're all kind of being separated and, you know, being groomed to just look out for ourselves, you know. And I'm telling you, it's all by design, guys. It really is. But beyond that, the Lord our God is still in control. And the Lord our God will still win. He's already won. The enemy even knows it. So I'm trying to tell you guys, no matter what kind of situation you find yourself in, whether it's financial, maybe you're homeless or whatever else, don't let it bring you down, guys. Don't. Just draw near to the Lord and just ask for help and ask him, like, what do I need to do? Please get me through this, Lord. I can't do this on my own. I need your strength, Lord. I need you. I need your guidance. I need your direction. You know, because this is what these times we're being forced to do. There's not much we can do. Like I mentioned earlier, that guy that took justice into his own hand and he shot that judge. I understand why he did it. You know, it's very hard for a man, especially a broken person that's lost everything, to not want to do something like that. But that's not what we do, guys. It's not. You know, I was very angry at the judge that pretty much screwed me over too. And I know that this is widespread because even news outlets like CNN, you know, they've admitted that 80% of family court cases are awarded to women. And I'm trying to tell you, I know I did not receive a fair trial when I went through that process. It was a joke. And they do it like online during Zoom and stuff to you guys, you know, and they rule on very important matters in like over a 15-minute span, guys. Court today is ridiculous, guys, if some of you find yourselves in that situation. You know, but I'm just trying to tell you, the enemy's weak. He's a coward. And don't let cowards get to you, all right? Don't let cowards get to you. Don't let the enemy get to you. And he's going to do some pretty good work on you, I'll tell you that. And I can say this type of stuff in hindsight, and I'm still going through this nonsense right now. And it's every time I come out with one of these videos, guys, more bad stuff happens to me. I kid you not. Do you understand? But I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm telling you that right now. I know vengeance is the Lord's, he will repay, as it is written. But it's like, Lord, let me get some in too, Lord. Please let me get some in. Let me get some of these things back, Lord. So again, we're going to keep pushing forward on this, dude. I'm telling you that right now. The enemy, he didn't get me. You know what I'm saying? He almost got me. I was telling someone in the comments section, like, one event even caused me to faint for the first time in my life. I'm telling you, I never went through this type of adversity and stuff before in my life. But like I said, like, I'm like, Lord, let me get some licks in, let me get to stomp on some enemies, Lord. But vengeance is the Lord's, guys. So don't do anything drastic. Don't get violent, because they're just going to use it to their agenda and their advantage anyways. They're like, oh, you see, the judge was justified and did the right thing, because look what happened. This man shot and killed him. I can guarantee you that man was screwed over. And I'm surprised that more people don't shoot more of these judges who aren't held accountable and everything else. We all see the injustice and everything that's going on, guys. But still, we don't take vengeance and that type of stuff into our own hands. We let the Lord take care of it. Because when he takes care of it, it's definitely game over, guys. It really is. And like I said, I'm frustrated with all this nonsense that's going on too, guys. And I know a lot of you are too. And this is men and women. You know what I'm saying? I know that women are getting done up too, But I'm trying to tell you guys, there's a reason why this stuff's happening and why we're in this predicament right now, And I'm telling you to hold steadfast. And you can pray even when you're doing things. I don't care if you're driving. I don't care if you're at work. You can pray to yourself. Nehemiah, he would pray to himself while he was giving, the king of Babylon his cup of wine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He would literally do that. I'm trying to tell you, the Lord your God is the God that hears. And the Lord your God is the God that answers. He is the absolution, and he will answer it one way or another, guys. I'm just trying to tell you. Now, I'm not saying he's going to give you money and he's going to, he's like a genie or, it's like winning the lottery or something. But his way of solving issues, again, I'm trying to tell you right now, it's pretty insane, okay? And I'm telling you guys to try to stay up, and I'm telling you guys, don't give up. Especially if you guys are suicidal or anything like that. Don't do it. In those moments when you're at your weakest, that's the best time to go to the Lord. And I'm telling you, those are the most prevalent times where he'll show you. That's when he'll show up, you understand? When I've been going through this stuff, the most heinous times has been when I've later would be, in a joyful state and things like that. Like, I just felt joy and I just felt peace and calm, after going through so much turmoil and everything and being so low. I used to always make fun of people who talk about these like victim stories and everything. But, I finally had to go through it and get humbled and checked, dude, and I'm happy that I am. And like I said, I just hope the Lord lets me get some lick-ins on some of this evil that's going around, man. I'm just like, Lord, let me get some of this. Let me get my hits in, Lord. Let me stomp this dude. Let me at this evil, Lord. Come on. And I'm trying to tell you, these things are powerful. They are, guys. They are powerful. This is why the Lord your God, it's best to let him deal with it, okay? Because, you have him, there ain't nothing these things can do. They'll have no power over you whatsoever. That's just real talk. And I know we've been getting weird on this channel. And I know we kind of turned to a different drastic direction on this channel. I want to talk about boxing, guys, but there ain't nothing going on in boxing. There really isn't. If there were, PBC wouldn't be getting removed off yet another network, okay? We will talk to you guys later. I hope somebody, maybe this helps you out, I hope you people just try to stay up, man. I hope you do, and you just don't let this world totally defeat you, okay? We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.